Hey there, it's Mark from Men Who Bullet. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Men Who Bullet. So this week's video is going to be a basic material starter guide. What things that you're going to need to get started inside of your very own bullet journal. Now, this will not be a step-by-step breakdown on how to start your bullet journal, but I wanted to do this video because a lot of people recently have been asking me about the materials that they will need to get started. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions already out there about bullet journaling and that you need this closet full of art supplies to get started. And because of that, I think that there's a lot of feelings out there. People just don't want to get started. It's overwhelming and they don't have that much stuff or they're not quite sure how to get started. So this video is going to be about simplicity, how to start. And simplicity really is a pillar of bullet journaling. And it can be hard to see that, right? When you're looking on Instagram or Pinterest and you see these really intricate and complex layouts. Now, while those do look awesome, you can start off really, really basic. And the first step that you're going to need to do that is just understand the basic bullet journal system. And you can do that at bulletjournal.com. That's how I learned. You can also find some of their great videos online, on YouTube, and I'll be doing a setup video in the near future. So to get started, the most important thing you're going to need is a journal. And then the second thing you need to really get started is a pen. That's it. It's that basic, journal and a pen. Now, for the pen, I'll share with you one of my favorites. I've been using this since the start. It's the Uniball Signo DX with a .38 tip. It's literally like writing with a needle. It is so fine point. I absolutely love it. But when I first started, I even went with a simple ballpoint pen. You don't have to get too fancy to start off, but this is all you need, a pen and a journal. So let's go ahead and talk about the journal right now because there are questions about how much you should spend or what you should, and it really depends on what you feel comfortable with. The official bullet journal from the website runs $24.95, but if you want, you can go with a less expensive version to get started. Now, this is a $5 bullet journal that I found at AC Moore, sparkly top if that's your thing. But it does the job, and that's what's really important here. The paper is pretty nice. It doesn't have some of the extra amenities, I'll call them, that are in the other journal, like page numbers at the bottom corner or any of the titles that are already inside of the book, but you can write those all in yourself. The paper itself is pretty nice, but the one thing that I did notice is the binding. These pages will come out of this, and I've had a few times when I've been flipping through and that has happened, but overall, not a terrible book to get started with. Now, this other find, I was super pumped about this. I was taking a look at some of the planners recently inside of Home Goods, and I found this in the clearance section for $5. I really liked it. Nice paper, has a nice dotted grid, but what really stuck out to me was it had this fantastic elastic band on the top with all of these starter supplies, I'll call them, right here. And it got me thinking, man, this would be a fantastic gift to give to somebody, or if you're even interested in just having an extra for yourself. Personally, I was really pumped about this elastic band. I'm really looking forward to just taking this off of this notebook and putting it onto my current one, but I think it's gonna be really fantastic. But again, you can always do this relatively inexpensively. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Now, if you wanna go beyond the basics, I'm gonna talk just a little bit about some of the materials that I have for myself. Again, the journal and pen are all that you need to get started, and I don't want to overwhelm anybody, but I do want to also show that if you want to add slowly to your collection, you most certainly can. So the first thing I added was this metal cork back ruler. This just helps stick to the page a little bit better. This is what I was using last year, which was just a plastic ruler that I got for 25 cents at an office supply store. But again, you don't have to go crazy at first, and something as simple as that can actually work really well. And again, this is what you're using for your little bit more complex layouts if you're doing grids and things like that, but I definitely think it's a good investment. The next piece here are these mild liners. I like these. I got them off of Amazon for $5. I used to use kind of these fatter, thicker highlighters, which again work fine, but I was looking for something a little bit more precise. And so that's when I found these mild liners, and I saw other people using them online, and I thought, okay, I'll try them out. And you know what? They are really fantastic, really great tips, also really great colors. The other thing I like about the mild liners over these other highlighter pens is that they're much more slim. The other highlighters tend to be bulkier, so if you're throwing a few of these in your bag with you, they take up more space. Now, if you're not into a lot of this color, you can even find some really great gray markers out there. These are just an example of two that I have. These are Artwin markers that I got. They're dual tipped, and they also help with just some shadowing and things like that if you want. And then the last piece I'll talk about will be some of my favorite markers of all time. This just comes back from art school. That's what it does to me. They're the Pigma Micron pens, and they come in multiple sizes, and they work out really well. Now, I can understand this is a lot, right? And that's why I just want to make sure you understand that you don't need all of this to get started. As a matter of fact, if we just strip out all of the extra pieces, we're back to where we started, which is just our pen and our bullet journal. Because when you really break it all down, the two most important pieces are that you can write inside of something and you understand the basic pieces of bullet journaling and what that means. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate it. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at menwhobullet, and we'll check you next time.